Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin is sitting on the edge of possibly a major breakout because the price is quickly approaching this significant area of liquidity to the upside, which can possibly cause a major short squeeze if we simply break this level. So I'll be talking about that in just a moment, alongside Ethereum still forming this massive bullish pattern, while the price of Chainlink is still playing out this bullish divergence in the short term, while Solana is just about to come in for another test of this important area of resistance, while XRP is still playing out this descending parallel channel. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the weekly Bitcoin chart, and right now Bitcoin is simply still in this larger bull market, playing out this bull market signal. So technically speaking, not much has changed on this chart over the last one day, and the same can be said about this weekly Bitcoin chart. Technically speaking, we're still losing bullish momentum in the weekly Bitcoin MACD for yet another week. Over the last few weeks, obviously, we have been losing bullish momentum, as I've been talking about over the last few weeks. So this basically tells us we're due to see a bit of a break or a bit of a cool off from the larger bull run, but not necessarily the end of the bull run, because we saw pretty much this exact same thing 1 year ago during a larger bull run. And so simply based on what we saw pretty much exactly 1 year ago, potentially in the next couple of weeks or so, near the end of this month, the second half of this month, we're likely going to get ready for that next major move in the bull market. But for the time being, potentially for another 1 or 2 weeks, we could just chop around sideways for a little longer. So keep that in mind. But if we're taking a look at the 4-day Bitcoin chart, the super trend indicator is still sitting in the green, indicating a larger bull market. But of course, on this weekly Bitcoin chart, we're still seeing this massive bearish divergence, which is already confirmed right now, which is telling us we're losing bullish momentum and still due to see a bit more of a short-term cool off. So overall, based on these 4 charts, technically speaking, we're still in a larger bull market, but due to see a bit of a short-term cool off continue for potentially the next 1 or 2 weeks at least. And if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart, as of right now, we're getting closer towards invalidating this bearish divergence, especially if we see a breakout above this line of resistance right here in the daily Bitcoin RSI. That would be an invalidation signal to invalidate this bearish divergence, meaning it's no longer playing out. But of course, even if we invalidate this bearish divergence right here, we still have the bearish divergence on the weekly time frame to pay attention to. And so overall, not a lot has changed on these Bitcoin charts over the last few days here. But if we're taking a look at this 12-hour Bitcoin chart, of course, over the last couple of days, we have seen a confirmed breakout above this area of resistance, which was sitting in between around 97 to 98,000. And of course, I talked about that yesterday here on the channel. We already confirmed that breakout. And over the last 1 day, we came in for a retest and actually flipped that previous resistance right here into new support, which is bullish price structure. That's an extra confirmation signal confirming the breakout, which is obviously bullish. And the next level of resistance to watch out for is sitting at approximately $100,000 per Bitcoin. And then above 100K, I'll be watching around 101.5K as the next resistance. And then above that, if we can get back above around 101.5K to 102K, then above that, I'll be targeting closer towards the all-time high at around 107,000 approximately as potentially a major point of resistance. And as for support, in case we see another little pullback here, I'd now expect support in between around 97 to 98,000 based on previous resistance now acting as new support. But below around 97,000 or below 96,500, we have this major area of support down here sitting closer towards around 92 to 93,000, give or take. And we also have a possible Bitcoin short squeeze that is pending on the price of Bitcoin right here, as shown on this chart right here. But just before talking about this, if you want to get set up ready to go to take these trading opportunities in the price of any crypto, personally, I take a lot of my trades over on BTNX, so I'll make sure to leave a link to BTNX below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can claim an exclusive deposit bonus that's only available using that link. So if you simply just click that link to make your account and then deposit 100 USDT and start trading, you get a $20 bonus. Or if you deposit just $500, you get a $100 bonus. Or if you deposit just 1,000 USDT and start trading, you get a $200 bonus straight into your new account. But that's only available if you use the link below this video to make your account and start trading on that account. So if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link below this video. And also, in case you're wondering, BTNX is basically basically available in any country in the world because it's a no KYC exchange. But as always, check your local regulations when it comes to trading crypto. And for whatever reason, if you don't want BitsNext, there is also Bybit as another exchange out there, another option that I also trade on. So I'll also make sure to leave a link to Bybit down below this video in the description and in a pinned comment. But with that being said, taking a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, and right now we have a lot of liquidity just above the price of Bitcoin, starting at very close to $100,000, pretty much exactly 100K, and going up towards around 100.6K approximately. And so essentially just around that 100K level and slightly above 100K, we have a lot of liquidity. And in case you're new to all of this, what that means is if the price of Bitcoin breaks out above that area on the price chart, that will wipe out a bunch of short positions. So people betting against the price of Bitcoin, that will wipe out those positions, liquidate those positions, meaning potentially more bullish price action following that breakout above around 100,000, because that's known as a short squeeze. When we liquidate short positions, for example, right here, and then essentially those positions get liquidated, which means they have to buy back into Bitcoin. And when they buy back into Bitcoin, that pushes the price higher, liquidating more short positions and so on. That's what a short squeeze is. And once again, that could potentially begin as soon as we see that breakout above around 100,000. So that 100K level is an important level, at least in the short term. For now, it is acting as a bit of resistance, but once we can finally break out above around 100K, that could trigger the next short squeeze, sending the price much higher, at least in the short term. But as always, even if we break out above 100K, we cannot ignore other points of resistance, like for example, 101.5K to 102K. Around that area, I would also expect a bit of resistance. So keep that in mind. If we break out above 100K, we could quickly potentially move up towards around 101.5K to 102K. But then around there, it is possible we could still struggle for a little bit. And as I said earlier in the video, potentially for the next 1 or 2 weeks or so, it's still unlikely we'll break out above the all-time high. It's still very likely that we'll continue somewhat similar price action like this, for example, for potentially the next 1 or 2 weeks. So if we see this short squeeze right here, don't necessarily expect a massive move well beyond the all-time high straight away. Instead, just temper your expectations. We might see a bit of a bullish move like this and then run into some resistance somewhere around here or close towards the all-time high, and then maybe see another little pullback and then get ready for that next major bullish move potentially in a few weeks. But with that being said, taking a look at Ethereum on the weekly time frame, right now the price is still forming a massive inverse head and shoulders pattern, which is of course a bullish pattern. But as always, this pattern is not confirmed until it confirms a breakout above this neckline right here, which is sitting at roughly around $4,000. So if we could see weekly candle closes, at least a weekly candle close above around 4,000 to 4.1K, then in that case, that would confirm this inverse head and shoulders pattern and confirm a massive bullish price target for this pattern, which is sitting at close to $7,000 per Ethereum. So obviously a massive price target to pay attention to. But once again, that price target only comes into play if we first see a confirmed breakout above this neckline. So for now, that price target in this pattern is not active. It's not in play. And if we're taking a look at the shorter term on the daily time frame, obviously we have recently broken out above this area of resistance, now acting as new support, sitting in between around 34.30 to 35.60. So once again, if we see a bit of a pullback, I would now expect support in that area. And as for resistance to watch out for, we do have significant resistance in between around 3.9K to 4.1K. So as always, for the bulls out there, 4.1K is the level to break out above in order to flip much more bullish and really expect the next significant bullish move in the larger bull market if we can first see a breakout above 4.1K. And overall, in the shorter term, we're looking slightly more bullish than bearish in the short term due to the fact that, of course, we're starting to form higher lows and higher highs again. And of course, we've recently broken out above a significant area of resistance, which is bullish price structure playing out here in the short term, which is, of course, good news for this massive inverse head and shoulders pattern, because if we continue this bullish move right here in the short term over the next 1 or 2 weeks, potentially, that could basically complete this inverse head and shoulders pattern. And then once we see that breakout above around 4,000 and ideally above 4.1K, that is where we could flip much more bullish again on the larger timeframes, not just these short-term moves. And if we're taking a look at the price of Chainlink on the 8-hour time frame, right now Chainlink is clearly still playing out this short-term bullish divergence, which usually plays out in the form of either a bullish relief or just some choppy sideways price action as the most common outcomes from a bullish divergence. And technically speaking, this is still active, so continue to expect this type of price action potentially for the next few days or so while this is still playing out. And as for short-term resistance to watch out for, we do have a bit of resistance at close to $24, but if we could see a breakout above $24, would likely head up towards around $24.60 approximately, and then above that level we have a decent amount of resistance at around $25.50. And as for short-term support, I would expect some support at close to $23, and below that we have important support at around $22.40 and $21.70 approximately based on previous supports. But overall, not a lot has changed over the last one day for Chainlink. So getting straight into Solana on the 8-hour time frame, and right now the price structure for Solana, the short-term trend is still currently bullish. As I've been saying ever since we saw this breakout from this triangle pattern right here, this was a clear trend reversal signal and a change in the price structure, as I've explained recently here on the channel over the last half a week or so. And so of course, despite this little rejection right here, I'm still bullish on the short-term trend and momentum for Solana, but we still have resistance to watch out for where the price can still struggle at along the way. And of course, this resistance to watch out for is sitting in between around $220 to $223. But if we could see a breakout above around 223, in that case, the next resistance is sitting at around 232, and above that we have significant resistance at 246 and 260. And right now in the short term, it's looking like the price is coming in for another test of this area of resistance right here, so keep this in mind. And as for short-term support, we have recently found a small amount of support at around $212, but below that we have this significant area of support right here to watch out for in between $200 to $205 if we were to see a further pullback. And so that is still the situation for Solana. Not a lot has really changed over the last one day in the shorter term. And if we're taking a look at XRP, something similar can be said for XRP. As I also said in my last video, technically speaking, we're still within this descending parallel channel, which is technically a short-term bearish trend, but we're getting very close to possibly seeing a breakout from this parallel channel right here, because this line of resistance is currently sitting at around $2.48, so just below $2.50 right now. And technically speaking, this bearish divergence on the 4-hour time frame is still currently active because we've not yet confirmed an invalidation signal to invalidate the bearish divergence, which means it's likely we're still going to lack bullish momentum in the short term, potentially over the next few hours or over the next day, because remember, this is a very small bearish divergence only on the 4-hour time frame. And so as I said, over the last 2 days, since all the way back here, I said coming next in the short term, we're most likely going to see either a bit of a pullback, just a small pullback, or just some choppy sideways price action as the most common outcomes from bearish divergence, the most likely scenario. And obviously, since I've been saying that over the last couple of days, we've seen that play out exactly as expected. And once again, I continue to expect this at least over the next few hours, possibly over the next 1 day or so, but possibly not much longer than around a day or two from now, considering it's only on the 4-hour time frame. And as for important support to watch out for, we do have some support right here at around $2.35, which we've recently bounced from based on previous resistance, now acting as new support. But below $2.35, we also have more support at around $2.22, give or take. And then we have important support at around $2.13 to $2.14 approximately. And then also we have this center line right here sitting at around $2.13. And the support line for this parallel channel is sitting at around $1.83. And so overall, not a lot has changed for XRP over the last 1 day. But remember, if you want to trade these moves in the price of any crypto, check out those links below this video to claim those extra bonuses. And if you actually want to know how to trade crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, you can profit from all of that price action by watching these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions. And the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.